Hey, what's happening? You know I've been waiting for you, and welcome to the BNz World Report. I'm Christopher Martin, better known as Play, and I'm filling in for our regular host, Angela Ray, which I hope she's enjoying some of this rare good weather that's going on right now. Also, big shout out to Elliott and Poetic Mike for filling in for Angela every once in a while. You're doing a great job, and I hope I can come at least 1/4 of the way as being as good as you guys have been. Anyway, what we're going to do right now is in our BNz World Report, it's our week in review, where we get into at least 2 to 3 stories that we thought were worth mentioning again and letting you guys be aware of some of the things that's going on the planet. We specialize in positive news here. We're not interested in gossiping. We're not interested in the negative spin on human nature. A lot of other organizations do enough of that. We're not here to judge them, but we're here to contribute to your positive day and a positive week. So right now, without further ado, let's go on to some information. Right now, we have here, how do we teach Black history in the future? That's brought to you from thegrio.com. Right now, Black History Month today, it's taken for granted that February is when we celebrate the history of accomplishments of African Americans. Yet Black History Month represents only salvo in the ongoing fight to include African Americans in American history, both in the classrooms and in society. And that fight shows no sign of being settled anytime soon. What the author here is talking about is that we need to create a change, and I fully agree. We've given a lot of great histories, the Moors, African Americans, if you choose to call it that we help take it to another level. So like right now, without further ado, let's go to our first special Team BNz story that I think you'll find pretty interesting. It's about an individual who played a very important part in our hip-hop culture. I bet you didn't know who was the inspiration for the music videos. Check this out. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Ralph McDaniels.
Same seat that you sat, you sitting now, and was trying to figure out what I could do with a camera. I went to college in New York City, and I came out of college, and my counterparts like Russell Simmons were doing concerts, and they were promoters. But I was always trying to find my place. I wasn't an artist, I wasn't a promoter, but I went to school for film and television. I went to school for journalism, and I started to begin to do radio shows. And I came up with this idea to do this show called Video Music Box. I started a show called Video Music Box in 1983, and it became a groundbreaking music video show because prior to that, you know, nobody was really playing, you know, African-American music videos as well. Definitely weren't playing hip-hop because they didn't want to see no hip-hop in the mix, and that's where we started, and that gave the ideas for Yo MTV Raps, for Rap City, for 106 in Park, and anything else that's out there today.
You just finished showing some really vintage, priceless footage of B.I.G., of LL. You have one of Lil Wayne. How did it feel to see them, know them then and see them now?
Well, it makes you feel proud because they didn't have to go there. You know, they could have, you know, we watch artists all the time, you know, something happened, they get arrested, this and that happens, you know, things happen, life things happen, and they don't make it. So the ones that do make it, you know, and you watch them come from the first time they were on your show and they really didn't know how to do an interview, to they're on, you know, with Oprah, you know, like a Jay-Z, you know, and you go like, wow, this guy's come a long way.
What do you want people to remember you for? What do you want them to say? What will your legacy be?
I think that, you know, I gave an opportunity to a genre of music that, you know, maybe wouldn't have gotten that opportunity because I knew broadcast stations didn't want to broadcast hip-hop like that. I was the beginning of that era of music that became probably the most influential music in the last 30 years, and most influential thing, period, you know, probably other than the internet, is hip-hop. And so I was the beginning of people starting to understand on how to broadcast it, artists understanding how to be on television, how to make music videos. So I think that, I guess, to kind of put it down to one thing was that, you know, I was a pioneer in music video.
great story. And interestingly enough, that came from Elliott, dude who normally fills in every once in a while for Angela Ray. We thank you for that. And on that note, very interesting, is that Spike Lee, in our next story, urges more black men to become teachers. Filmmaker Spike Lee joined Education Secretary Arnie Duncan in issuing a call Monday for more black men to become teachers, making their plea at the county's only all-male historically black college. The two took part in a town hall meeting at Atlanta's private Morehouse College just a week after President Barack Obama urged more people nationwide to become teachers. Duncan told an audience that more than 1 million educators are expected to retire in the upcoming decade, and that federal officials are hoping to harness that opportunity to create a more diverse teaching workforce, noting that less than 2% of the nation's 3 million teachers are black men. Everybody can't be business majors, Spike Lee told the auditorium packed with male high school and college students. We have to educate ourselves. We have to educate our young black men. And that's real big, and you have Brand New's full support on that one. So interestingly enough, you'll need to find out what you can do to get involved. For those of you who've been in search of what to do with your life, maybe your calling is to be a teacher, my brothers. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into our next special BNZ, Team BNZ report. This one comes from Mike Anderson, and the subject matter on this one, I think, is somebody really close to home. As a matter of fact, she's in his home. Check this out.
You know what? When you do it unto the glory of God,
Amen.
You don't know the words in that song, the words in that poetry, or whatever you're singing will touch somebody. It could be the very word that that person needed for that moment. If you've ever prayed and asked the Lord to send you a word, you never know how you're going to get it.
That's right.
And tonight...
Hello everyone, my name is Lawanda Anderson, and I am the CEO and President of Words of Essence, LLC. And on tonight, we are having our 5th annual Gospel Showcase and Talent Show downtown Durham at the Durham Armory. The thing that inspired me to start Words of Essence, we all know we have different life situations that happen, and for me, it was unemployment. And you know, God allowed me to pick up a talent with writing poetry, and I ended up finding an individual who said, I'm so inspired by your poetry, I want to publish a book. And it became Words of Essence. With that being said, I decided instead of just having my book out here, I wanted to do an event that will bring publishers and authors and just kind of show individuals on how they can start with their own personal book. And because I had this event, Aspiring Writers Info Session, I had to have a real business. So I named it Words of Essence, and that's where it started.
And if you need him, sing, I need thee, oh, I need thee.
I want you to clap your hands with me, and I want you to clap it along to the beat, because you know what? We overcome the devil by the power of our testimony, amen? And by letting the world know and proclaiming the goodness and the blessings of God, amen?
See, I have boundaries and I have restrictions about how I choose to live my life when it comes to men, but the sincerity in his voice erased it all as he told me that I was his best friend. You see, I define myself as a woman, and I'm normally anal about how I choose to live my life.
What can you expect at the Gospel Showcase? You can expect to see a lot of awesome talent. We have mime, we have singers, performers, we have poets, we have a lot of individuals, both locally as well as out of state, and we even had a gospel comedian on tonight. It was fantastic, and these individuals, they sing from the heart, they perform for the heart, but they also, most importantly, they do it for God, and that is why they are awesome.
Wow, doing it real big, Mrs. Lawanda Anderson, and big ups to Mike for an excellent story. And if you want to know more about the upcoming 2011, I believe it's in October, Gospel Showcase and Talent Show given to you by Words of Essence. Please go to the website, wordofessence.com. Once again, that's wordofessence.com, and support. Maybe even enter. You never know who's in the audience that's going to be doing something real big for you and your career and your love and your passion, and then in the same time what you could be doing for them. Anyway, let's go to our last story. Speaking of talent, I mean, there's no denying the talent that our friend, who you need to check out a great interview we had with her at the early part of the year, Fantasia, to play Mahalia Jackson in her first film role. Wow, that's huge. R&B songstress Fantasia Barrino has officially landed her first feature film role. The American Idol alumni and VH1 reality show star has been cast to star in the film adaptation of the 1993 book Got to Tell It, Mahalia Jackson, Queen of Gospel, which recounts the life of the late American gospel singer, a civil rights activist who was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Fantasia's biggest past roles to date are Celia in the Broadway version of The Color Purple and herself in the 2006 Lifetime biopic, Life is Not a Fairy Tale, the Fantasia Barrino story. Here at Brand Newz, we wish you a much deserved congratulations. We hope and pray for nothing but the best for you. So with all that being said, we want to thank you for joining us here at Brand Newz, at the Brand Newz World Report. Please check in throughout the week with our News to Know section, our What's Good From You section, the Music Box, WBNZ Radio, where we only play and support unsigned artists. And hey, please contribute. That's what Brand Newz is all about. Like YouTube, but we want to show the positive side of human nature. Send in those videos and we're going to play them here. It's brandnewz.com. We love you, peace, and please have a blessed week.